Welcome to the educational channel. This is Unit 5, Episode 25. In this episode, we will continue talking about precious resources, tackling vocabulary, set book questions, and summary making. Here are a few tips for answering set book questions. Make sure to read all the questions carefully. Remember that the questions are of general nature. You can use your own background information as well as the textbook information. Write full, meaningful sentences and provide two causes, reasons, or effects if the question asks so. Pay attention to handwriting and spelling and revise your answers. We will start discussing precious resources from a text in the workbook, page 32. First, let's cover the vocabulary. Commercially. Commercially means in commercial terms or from a profit-making point of view. For example, copyright protects your work from being commercially exploited by someone else without your consent. Partnership. Partnership is a relationship between two people or two organizations or two countries. For example, mutual respect is necessary for any partnership to work. Wood pulp. Wood pulp is wood crushed into a soft mass used for making paper. For example, the quality of the wood pulp produced would be suitable for the manufacturing of paper. Let's try to think of the answer to this question. Why is recycling paper important? And here we're focusing on paper as an example. Why is recycling paper important? Do you know the answer? Can you guess? Let's start reading the passage to find out. The first paper was made from cloth nearly 2,000 years ago in China. Although paper can be made from all kinds of materials such as cotton, fibers, grass, and sugarcane, these days wood pulp is the material most commonly used to make new paper. Paper which contains no old or recycled paper. The modern world uses so much paper that environmentalists have persuaded us that we should recycle old paper as well as making new paper. There is considerable awareness in Kuwait of the need to recycle waste, including paper. As a wealthy and modern state, Kuwait is a major user of paper but is looking to address this by building recycling centers with one partnership between a major private company and a university being an example of this. Although we use wood pulp from trees to make new paper, it is not entirely true that recycling paper saves trees. Trees are a commercially grown long-term crop, so that when they are cut down, new ones are planted. Also, paper makers use the parts of trees that cannot be used in other industries, such as building and furniture making. Nearly all new paper is made from wood grown in sustainable forests. Here are some facts related to producing recycled paper. A large proportion of household waste is paper or cardboard. About half of this is newspapers and magazines. For every ton of paper used for recycling, we save 30,000 liters of water, 3,000 to 4,000 kilowatts per hour of electricity, and produce 95% less air pollution. Recycling paper is less harmful to the environment than burying it in landfill sites. This is because if paper is buried in the ground, it rots and produces methane, which is a powerful greenhouse gas. Despite our increasing dependence on information stored on computers, there will always be a demand for paper. In the interests of our environment, we have to make sure that we continue to recycle as much of it as possible. So, why is recycling paper important? Let's go back to the facts that we read about paper. Here I can find one answer, which is that we save 30,000 liters of water and electricity and produce 95% less air pollution. So I can write it down in a full sentence saying we save much water and electricity and produce 90% less air pollution. Here you can see also recycling paper is less harmful to the environment than burying it in landfill sites. And I can write it. It's less harmful to the environment than burying it in landfill sites. Match these words from the article with their meanings. We have 4 words: fiber, environmentalist, considerable, proportion. Read the definitions closely and try to match the words with their meanings. First, I have the word fiber. Fiber is number 2, extremely small quantity of paper, wood, cloth, etc. Environmentalist is number 1, a person who is concerned with the protection of the environment. What do you think considerable means? Considerable is number 4, large in amount, which leaves us with proportion, which means a portion or an amount. You have this exercise also. Let's see if the statements here are true or false and try to justify our answers. A. Is this true or false? All paper is made of wood. You can go back to the passage in the workbook, page 32, and try to find the answer. I can find here that it says, although paper can be made from all kinds of materials, such as cotton fibers, grass, and sugarcane, which means this is false. Paper can be made from various different materials. B. We should recycle old paper and stop making new paper. What does it state in the passage? Do you remember? Does it state that we should stop making new paper? On the contrary, it says here, the modern world uses so much paper that environmentalists have persuaded us that we should recycle old paper as well as, meaning also we can make new paper. So that means B is false. We should recycle as well as make new paper because the modern world uses so much paper. C. Recycling paper saves trees. Is this true or is it false? Here in the passage you can see trees are a commercially grown long-term crop so that when they are cut down, new ones are planted. So this is false. When trees are cut down for making paper, new ones are planted. And the last one, D. Most household waste is paper or cardboard. You can find it in the facts. A large proportion of household waste is paper or cardboard, which is true because it states about half of it is newspapers and magazines. Now, let's move on to the summary making. Before we start the summary making, here are a few tips on how to write a paragraph for the summary. Highlight the major points in the text, meaning the important points in the text. Break the original text into smaller sections, meaning remove unnecessary details. Write a sentence summarizing each idea. And write a paragraph that begins with a sentence summary of the thesis statement. Avoid repetitions in your paragraph and make sure your notes are tied together logically using connectors. Connectors are things like in addition to, moreover. Use your own words and style. Paraphrase. Paraphrasing meaning your own words while writing. Here are a few tips for paraphrasing. Make sure you understand the passage. You have to understand what the passage means in order to use your own words when writing. Break up and join ideas. Elaborate on or shorten some ideas. Maintain the idea of the original passage. Don't change the idea. Keep it as truly as possible. Now, What can I do to use my own words when paraphrasing? You are advised to. First, you can change the vocabulary. If you have a sentence, change a few words into their synonyms, and then you have paraphrased. This is an example. The first paper was made from cloth nearly 2,000 years ago in China. The first I can change into the earliest. The earliest paper was made from cloth nearly 2,000 years ago. I can say almost 2,000 years ago in China. If I don't know any synonyms, I can also transform a sentence. Change the verb from passive to active or active to passive. This helps change focus of the sentence. Let's take an example. We use wood pulp to make new paper. I can say wood pulp is used to make new paper. And I changed focus of the sentence. Also, I can change the word class, a verb to noun, noun to adjective, adjective to adverb, etc. This is an example. Recycling paper is less harmful to the environment than burying it in landfill sites. So, here, recycling paper does little harm to the environment than its burial in landfill sites. I changed is less harmful and I changed burying. Let's move to the summary making. In 4 sentences only, and always focus, 4 sentences, summarize and paraphrase the passage in answer to the following question. So I need 4 sentences to answer the question I have here, and I write them using my own words. What are the advantages of recycling paper? Now, you will be grading according to this rubrics. The content or the relevance of ideas, don't change the ideas. Paraphrasing, using your own words. Spelling and grammar, always revise your writing and don't change the format. Write in a paragraph. What are the advantages of recycling paper? Let's read this paragraph. Here are some of the advantages related to producing recycled paper. Materials made of recycled paper are less expensive, and in this way, people will save more money. For every ton of paper used for recycling, we save 30,000 liters of water, 3,000 to 4,000 kilowatt of electricity, and produce 95% less air pollution. Recycling paper is less harmful to the environment than burying it in landfill sites. This is because if paper is buried in the ground, it rots and produces methane, which is a powerful greenhouse gas. The great benefits of recycling paper is that it plays a big part in protecting the natural world and it reduces deforestation. I try to find the 4 answers that I need to create my own paragraph. If you take a look, what are the advantages of recycling paper? First, you can find this answer. Materials made of recycled paper are less expensive, and in this way, people will save more money. How can I paraphrase this? I can say, people could save their money because recycled paper materials are cheap. So less expensive, and I switched the sentence and I changed a few vocabulary items here, and I have my own paraphrased idea. Another thing you can find is we save 30,000 liters of water, 3,000 to 4,000 kilowatt of electricity, and produce 95% less air pollution. Now, here I can find that we save water, we save electricity, and less air pollution. If I want to paraphrase that, I can say, in addition, recycled paper helps to reduce, and water and electricity are types of energy, so I can say reduce energy consumption and air pollution. Let's try to find another idea. Here you can see recycling paper is less harmful to the environment than burying it in landfill sites. I can paraphrase and say, moreover, recycling paper helps decrease landfill waste and prevents destroying the environment. And another idea to complete my 4 ideas, 4 sentences, is it plays a big part in protecting the natural world, and it reduces deforestation. Finally, because this is my last idea, finally, it plays a major role, a major role in preserving the natural world, which was protecting the natural world, namely forests. Now, you found the 4 ideas, you paraphrased them, and you wrote them in your own words. What do you do next? You put them in a short paragraph. So I added them together, and this is how it looks. What are the advantages of recycling paper? Remember, use connectors to connect your ideas. To start with, people could save their money because recycled paper materials are cheap. In addition, recycled paper helps to reduce energy consumption and pollution. Moreover, recycling paper helps decrease landfill waste and prevents destroying the environment. Finally, it plays a major role in preserving the natural world, namely forests. That was easy. Remember, paraphrase. In this episode, we learned how to use the new vocabulary items in sentences, answer the set book questions, paraphrase, and summarize a passage. Thank you for watching.